Seniors, beware, these 5 healthy foods are killing your leg muscles. Have you ever felt like your legs are slowly losing strength step by step, day by day? Most people blame aging and think, well, it's just part of getting old. But what if I told you that age isn't the real reason? Here's the surprising truth. The everyday foods on your plate might be silently draining the strength from your legs without you even realizing it. Yes, the issue isn't just aging, it's what you're eating. Every bite you take is either building stronger legs or quietly breaking them down. And the worst part? Some of the most common go-to foods are the biggest offenders. Electric light bulb, the good news? You can take back control. By simply avoiding a few specific foods, you can stop this decline and start rebuilding your leg strength naturally. Stay with me until the end, because I'm about to reveal 5 sneaky foods that weaken your legs, and more importantly, what you should eat instead to regain your power. 1. Refined sugar, the sweet villain destroying your strong legs. Have you ever noticed that your legs feel weaker, heavier, and you can't quite pinpoint why? You're eating regularly, walking gently every day, but even something as simple as standing up from a chair makes your knees shake. It's not always about aging. And it's certainly not always because you're not moving enough. In many of the cases I've encountered throughout my medical career, the silent culprit often lies right on your breakfast table, specifically, sugar. And worse yet, it hides under the guise of healthy foods that you trust every day. Imagine this, a typical morning. You wake up feeling a little tired, so you decide to treat yourself to a quick breakfast, a fruit-flavored yogurt, a slice of whole grain toast with strawberry jam, and a glass of orange juice or light iced tea. Everything looks healthy and full of energy, right? But 45 minutes to an hour later, you start to feel drained, a bit dizzy. You want to sit down. Your knees feel heavier as you climb the stairs. And you think to yourself, maybe I'm just getting older. Wrong. It's not aging, it's insulin. More specifically, it's the metabolic response after consuming too much quick-absorbing simple sugar, which is present in many foods that seem healthy, but are quietly stealing the muscle strength you once had. I'll never forget my patient, Don, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Arizona. He didn't smoke, didn't drink, and walked daily around his neighborhood. But Don struggled every time he tried to stand up from his couch. "It's just because I'm getting old, doctor," he said. But after reviewing his food diary, I discovered something surprising. On average, Don consumed 90 g of added sugar every day, the equivalent of almost 20 teaspoons of sugar, nearly 4 times the recommended amount for older adults. What's striking is, he didn't eat candy. This sugar came from low-fat fruit yogurt, healthy granola, canned fruit juice, whole grain sandwich bread with honey spread. After 8 weeks of changes, switching to unsweetened Greek yogurt, replacing granola with walnuts, eating boiled eggs in the morning, and eliminating canned fruit juice, Don saw clear improvements. His walking speed increased by 14%, his grip strength greatly improved, and for the first time in 6 months, he was able to stand up from his sofa without using his hands. When you consume refined sugar, your body immediately responds by increasing insulin levels to manage the glucose in your bloodstream. At first, you feel alert, refreshed, but then comes a sharp drop in blood sugar, leaving you feeling tired, drowsy, and with weak muscles. But sugar doesn't stop there. It also increases chronic inflammation, harming muscle tissue, reduces the absorption of calcium and magnesium, two minerals essential for muscle contraction and relaxation, causes oxidative stress, producing free radicals that attack muscle tissue, lowers the production of ATP, the cell's energy unit, making muscles more prone to fatigue. Instead of completely eliminating sweetness, something that's neither practical nor necessary, you just need to change the quality of the sweeteners you choose. Smarter options: pure honey, dates, or coconut sugar, rich in minerals and antioxidants. Fresh fruits like blueberries, apples, and pears, packed with fiber to stabilize blood sugar. Dark chocolate greater than or equal to 70% contains magnesium, which is great for muscles. Savory, energy-rich foods, pumpkin seeds, cashews, boiled eggs, help maintain muscle mass. Don't forget to read food labels carefully. Sugar can disguise itself under names like dextrose, maltodextrin, corn syrup, fructose concentrate. If you're over 60 and feel like you're losing energy despite eating well, check the hidden sugar sources in your diet. Ask yourself every time you choose food: does it help me get up more easily, or does it make me more tired after meals? Does it just satisfy my taste buds for a moment, or is it nourishing my body in the long run? Sugar may make you feel better for 15 minutes, but your body will thank you for life if you learn to choose the right kind of sweetness. You don't have to be a doctor or an athlete. Just someone who knows that strong legs are a gift and protecting them starts with the smallest things. Today's breakfast: 2 fried foods and fast food, delicious for a minute, weak for a lifetime. Have you ever wondered why, after every meal out, whether it's a crispy fried chicken, a few golden fries, or a sandwich from the convenience store, you feel tired, your legs heavy, or even experience a dull ache in your calves? It's not by chance. That sluggish feeling after a meal isn't just about digestion, it's a complex biological consequence of what you just put into your body: reused cooking oil, trans fats, and oxidative molecules that silently destroy your muscles, bones, and even blood vessels. Imagine this: you go out for lunch with friends. The fast food restaurant is packed. The smell of fried chicken and fries fills the air. You order the Happy Meal: crispy chicken, fries, and a soda. Everything seems perfect, until about 2 hours later, when you feel like you need to lie down because your legs are heavy, your joints feel stiff, and it's hard to move. Behind that crispy golden coating is a sophisticated biological attack. Fried foods, especially those from restaurants or processed foods, are loaded with trans fats, oxidized omega-6 fatty acids, and reused frying oils. These don't just harm your heart as we often hear, but they also directly cause muscle tissue inflammation, slow circulation, and reduce muscle recovery, especially in older adults. Eleanor Harris, 74 years old, used to be active in her local church group. She loved fried catfish Fridays, fried fish and fries with friends. But after a few years, she started noticing her legs felt stiff every morning. Climbing stairs became a challenge. Worse, she had to start using a cane when walking. Blood tests were all normal. No diabetes, no arthritis. But after carefully reviewing her diet, I found the issue: She was eating fried foods 3 to 4 times a week, fried fish, fries, and even frozen fried meals at home. We tested her inflammation markers, CRP, IL-6, the results were high. My plan was simple. Replace frying with baking or pan-searing. Use pure olive oil. Add ginger, turmeric, and dark leafy greens to her weekly meals. Just 10 weeks later, she reported fewer cramps, easier walking, and she no longer needed a cane to go outside. No magic, just a change in diet. When you eat fried food at high temperatures, especially reused oils, your body absorbs a large amount of lipid peroxides and free radicals. These molecules cause chronic inflammation in muscle tissue, damage to collagen and muscle fibers, slowed circulation in the lower limbs due to narrowed small blood vessels, reduced ATP production, the energy unit of muscle cells, making muscles more fatigued. You don't have to give up that crispy crunch, you just need to change how you cook. Smarter cooking alternatives. Air fryer reduces oil use by 90% while still maintaining crispiness. Baking, coat with whole grain flour, season with herbs for added flavor. Quick pan searing with olive oil or avocado oil. Oils to avoid / oils to use. Oils to avoid cause inflammation: corn oil, soybean oil, repeatedly fried canola oil, unknown source vegetable oil. Oils to use: anti-inflammatory extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, cold pressed flaxseed oil. Healthy crunchy snacks. Roasted chickpeas, roasted sweet potatoes, dry roasted almonds. Seaweed snacks, low salt. If you feel a dull ache in your legs after each meal with too much oil, don't just chalk it up to the weather or getting older. Your body is sending out an SOS signal. And the good news is, you can put out that fire of inflammation simply by stopping the flow of oil into the fire. Elon Musk once said, "You can't build the future with broken materials." Your body is the same. You can't expect strong legs if you're fueling them with burned fats and oxidative molecules. Instead of continuing to add fuel to a tired machine, give it clean, wholesome fuel, and you'll see, each step won't just feel lighter, but more energized, just like your younger years. 3 processed meats, convenient today, a burden tomorrow. Have you ever wondered why, after eating a quick meal, whether it's a slice of deli meat, a sausage, or a small can of canned meat, your legs feel weaker, heavier, and sometimes even ache in your calves? It may sound extreme, but this is a reality I've witnessed over my 20 years in geriatric medicine. We often talk about sugar, fat, and salt, but very few realize that processed meats, seemingly a convenient source of protein, are a silent destroyer of muscle, nerve, and circulatory health in older adults. Imagine this, a typical lunch. You're in a fast food joint with your friends, the smell of fried chicken and fries in the air. You order a Happy Meal, crispy chicken, fries, and a soda. Everything seems perfect, until 2 hours later, when you feel like lying down because your legs feel heavy, your joints stiff, and you have trouble walking. Behind that crispy exterior is a biological attack. Processed meats, especially those from fast food chains or prepackaged foods, are packed with trans fats, oxidized omega-6 fatty acids, and reused cooking oils. They don't just harm your heart, as we're often told, but they directly cause muscle tissue inflammation, slow circulation, and reduce muscle recovery, especially in older adults. Eleanor Harris, 74, used to be very active in her local church group. She loved fried catfish Fridays, fried fish and fries with her friends. But after a few years, she started feeling her legs stiffening every morning. Climbing stairs became a challenge. Worse, she began using a cane when walking. Blood tests came back normal. No diabetes, no arthritis. But after carefully reviewing her diet, I saw the problem: 3 to 4 servings of fried food every week, from fried fish and fries to frozen fried meals at home. We tested her inflammation markers, CRP, IL-6, the results were high. My plan was simple. Replace frying with baking or pan-searing. Use pure olive oil. Add ginger, turmeric, and dark leafy greens to her weekly meals. Just 10 weeks later, she reported fewer cramps, easier walking, and she no longer needed a cane when going outside. No miracle, just a change in diet. When you eat fried food at high temperatures, especially reused oils, your body absorbs large amounts of lipid peroxides and free radicals. These molecules cause chronic inflammation in muscle tissue, damage to collagen and muscle fibers, slowed circulation in the lower limbs due to narrowed small blood vessels, reduced ATP production, the energy unit for muscles, making them more fatigued. You don't have to give up the crispy crunch, you just need to change how you cook. Smarter cooking alternatives. Air fryer reduces oil by 90% while maintaining crispiness. Baking, coat with whole grain flour, season with herbs for added flavor. Quick pan searing with olive oil or avocado oil. Oils to avoid / oils to use. Oils to avoid: cause inflammation: corn oil, soybean oil, reused canola oil, unknown source vegetable oil. Oils to use: anti-inflammatory extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, cold pressed flaxseed oil. Healthy crunchy snacks: roasted chickpeas, roasted sweet potatoes, dry roasted almonds. Seaweed snacks, low salt. If you feel a dull ache in your legs after eating greasy food, don't just chalk it up to the weather or getting older. Your body is sending out an SOS signal. And the good news is, you can put out that fire of inflammation simply by stopping the flow of oil into the fire. Elon Musk once said, "You can't build a future with broken materials." Your body is the same. You can't expect strong legs if you're fueling them with burned fats and oxidative molecules. Instead of continuing to add fuel to a tired machine, give it clean, wholesome fuel, and you'll see, each step won't just feel lighter, but more energized, just like your younger years. 4 packaged foods with high salt, the silent destroyer of your flexibility. Did you know that each time you eat a can of soup, a serving of frozen noodles, or a few slices of whole wheat bread, you're unknowingly adding enough salt to disrupt the stability of your muscles, bones, and blood vessels? It might sound unbelievable, but over the course of treating hundreds of elderly patients, I've found that reduced mobility, nighttime leg cramps, and swollen legs are often not just due to aging, but rather the result of an unnoticed high-sodium diet. Imagine a busy day. You heat up a can of vegetable soup, pair it with a whole wheat sandwich, finish with some steamed greens and a dash of soy sauce. You think, I'm eating healthy. But then, by evening, your legs start to swell. At night, calf cramps wake you up. And you think, maybe it's the weather, or I'm 70 now. Not exactly. It could be your sodium levels quietly surpassing a safe threshold. The problem isn't just the salt you sprinkle on food, it's the hidden salt in packaged foods, instant soups, canned vegetables, condiments, and even seemingly harmless whole wheat bread. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2020, older adults consuming too much sodium have a 28% higher risk of impaired mobility, even if they don't have high blood pressure. Mildred, 79, lives alone and prides herself on her affordable and healthy cooking. Every week, she ate 4 meals of canned soup, canned vegetables, and several servings of frozen lasagna from the store. When she came in for swollen ankles and leg cramps while walking, we checked her sodium intake. The result? She was consuming an average of 4,200 milligrams of salt per day, nearly twice the recommended limit, even though she didn't add salt to her food. We made the following changes. Canned soup, homemade fresh vegetable soup with herbs. Frozen lasagna, baked salmon and steamed veggies. Added butter, bananas, and dark leafy greens high in potassium. Just 6 weeks later, she was no longer dealing with swollen feet, cramps, and could walk longer without fatigue. The mechanisms behind the harmful impact on musculoskeletal health. 1. Water retention and swelling. When you consume too much sodium, your body holds onto water to balance electrolytes. Swollen feet, a heavy feeling, and stiff joints. 2. Blood vessel constriction. Salt narrows the blood vessels, reducing oxygen-rich blood flow to muscles. Leg fatigue, slow recovery after activity, and cramps. 3. Calcium loss via urine. High sodium levels cause the kidneys to excrete more calcium. Weaker bones, increasing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures when falling. 4. Increased risk of peripheral neuropathy. Increased tissue pressure and poor circulation in the legs. Pain, numbness, slow reflexes. Simple kitchen changes. Use garlic, ginger, lemon, and apple cider vinegar instead of salt. Opt for no salt added products. Check labels. Choose options with less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. If you frequently experience swollen legs, nighttime cramps, or fatigue after walking, don't just blame it on age. Open your pantry and read the food labels. The culprit may not be your age, but that can of canned vegetables you're holding. Jeff Bezos once said, "We are the sum of our daily choices." Your leg health, and your freedom of movement, aren't determined by age, but by your diet. Each choice to reduce salt today leads to steadier steps tomorrow. 5. Refined carbs, quick energy, but they slowly wear down your muscles. Have you ever experienced the feeling of being recharged after a meal rich in carbs, only to find yourself suddenly exhausted an hour later, with heavy legs, sluggishness, and a foggy brain? It might seem like it's just aging, but it's actually the result of the type of carbs you eat: white rice, white bread, refined pasta, or even so-called healthy breakfast cereals. You start your morning with a slice of white bread spread with strawberry jam, accompanied by a sweet glass of orange juice. Within 15 minutes, you feel alert and energized. But less than an hour later, you're struggling to sit down, your legs feel as heavy as lead, and your mind is in a fog. You think, maybe I just need some coffee? Actually, You've just experienced a reactive hypoglycemia episode, and the culprit wasn't the lack of caffeine in your coffee, but those slices of white bread. Refined carbs don't just spike your blood sugar, they also contribute to muscle breakdown, weaken cellular energy, promote chronic inflammation, and accelerate muscle aging in older adults. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology, 2018, found that older adults with insulin resistance, a common result of consuming too many refined carbs, had significantly lower leg strength and mobility, even if they maintained a healthy weight and stayed active. Helen, 68, a retired teacher with a healthy lifestyle, walked every day, ate home-cooked meals, and avoided sweets. But her favorite meals consisted of white bread, white rice, and pasta. She often felt tired after meals, with stiff legs and difficulty catching her breath while climbing stairs. Although her thyroid and blood tests were normal, her continuous glucose monitor showed spikes after meals, particularly those high in refined carbs. We made some changes. White pasta, lentil pasta. White rice, brown rice and wild rice. White bread, whole grain fermented bread. After 6 weeks, Helen walked longer, slept better, and could do squats again after almost 2 years. The biological mechanisms of harm. 1. Glycation. When blood sugar levels rise, they combine with proteins in muscle tissue to form AGEs, advanced glycation end products, which harden tissues, reduce muscle flexibility, and weaken joints. 2. Mitochondrial fatigue. Refined carbs provide quick energy but diminished mitochondrial efficiency, leading to quick muscle fatigue and slower recovery after exercise. 3. Micronutrient deficiency. Refined carbs are nearly devoid of B vitamins and magnesium, essential nutrients for muscle contraction and energy production. Over time, this leads to muscle atrophy in the thighs and calves, reduced grip strength, difficulty climbing stairs or standing up from a chair. You don't need to eliminate all carbs, you just need to switch to complex, fiber-rich carbs that digest slowly and are full of nutrients. Smart replacements. Bad carbs, better alternatives, best alternatives. White bread, sprouted whole grain bread, grilled salmon. White rice, brown rice, wild rice, steel-cut oats, lentils, chickpeas. White pasta, lentil pasta, buckwheat pasta, grilled chicken, organic beef. Packaged cereals, steel-cut oats, chia pudding, wild rice, quinoa. Savory crackers, almond crackers, seed crackers, fresh veggies. Additional tips. Always pair carbs with lean protein, eggs, fish, tofu. Add healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, nuts. Prioritize high-fiber vegetables like kale, carrots, and broccoli. If you've ever thought, I eat vegetarian, less sugar, so why are my legs still sore? The problem may not be sugar, but the type of carbs you choose. Always read food labels. Don't let terms like whole grain fool you. Many products still contain up to 70% refined flour if they don't have enough fiber, at least 3 g per serving. Elon Musk once said, "Sustainable energy is not just about electric cars, it starts with cellular biology." Your body is the same. For strong legs, you need to start at the cellular level, and cells need the right fuel. Every meal is a choice: nourish strength or feed weakness. Choose wisely, your legs will thank you every day. Here's the truth. Refined sugar gives you a temporary boost, but takes away something far more valuable: your stability, your strength, and your independence. But you're not powerless. Just like Don, the 72-year-old who stood up from his couch without help for the first time in 6 months, you can take back control. Start small. Start today. White heavy checkmark: swap sweetened yogurt for Greek yogurt with berries. White heavy checkmark: replace granola bars with a handful of walnuts or a boiled egg. White heavy checkmark: cut sugary drinks and sip water or unsweetened herbal teas. White heavy checkmark: read labels. Know what's in your food and what's fueling your muscles. Because you don't need to be a doctor, an athlete, or a health nut to make a difference. You just need to know one simple truth. Every bite is a decision. Every meal is a message to your body. So send the right one. Fuel your strength. Protect your legs. And give your future self a reason to thank you, one strong, steady step at a time.